Welcome to this edition of Lifeline. Of the 70,000 or so diseases that can affect humans, about 10% are considered rare diseases that affect a very small percentage of people. Because there are so few patients, doctors say treatment for rare diseases always lags behind that for common diseases. Medical experts in Shanghai have developed a screening system for about 50 rare diseases, a badly needed first step in identifying people who need treatment. Our reporter Xu Fangliang has more.
15-year-old Liu Bing is only in the 3rd grade at primary school. That's because he suffers from a disease that causes his bones to break. It's happened at least a dozen times, starting when he was only 6 months old.
6个月的时候，他一个哥哥就抱着他，就在怀里抱着他玩的。
My son burst out crying once after his cousin gave him a hug, and he didn't stop crying all night. We had to bring him to see the doctor, but we were told he has osteogenesis imperfecta.
来我们厂城里打工，感觉这个小孩老哭，就是说。
That congenital condition is also known as brittle bone disease, affects about 100,000 people in China. People with the disease who are sometimes called China dolls can break their bones more than 100 times during their lifetimes. The disease hits only 1 out of every 20,000 people, and so far there is no effective cure.
本身来讲，我们要老二那时候也是心里想着，老大有个这个病了。
When our first son was 3 years old, my wife and I decided to have a second baby. We hoped the second one could be a girl, because we believe the bad disease only passes to male offspring rather than the females.
But that was not to be. And even before their second son Liu Sen was born, the doctor said one of the fetus's legs looked abnormal. But nobody was sure whether Liu Sen also had a disease until the boy had his first bone broken when he was in kindergarten. Professor Ma Duan is one of the very few experts in Shanghai researching rare diseases. He has been working on conditions like osteogenesis imperfecta for more than 2 decades. He says the situation for Liu's family might have been very different if they had been able to use newly developed technology.
第一个孩子已经是认为从临床上
Since the first kid had already been diagnosed with osteogenesis imperfecta, there is a way to diagnose the second one. With the new technology, we can now do the test by analyzing the amniotic fluid before the child is born, and parents can make their own decision whether they want to keep the baby.
专门针对这种异常去检测胎儿。
Ma says doctors can get genetic information from the amniotic fluid, including the specific gene that is related to osteogenesis imperfecta. By determining whether the gene's DNA sequence is normal, they can confirm the diagnosis. Analyzing the mother's blood can also provide similar information.
而这6000到7000种当中呢，
Among the 7,000 kinds of rare diseases, European countries or the United States can already screen 2,000 of them. We now can only test 50 kinds. But compared to a year ago, when we could only screen for 10 kinds, it's already a big move.
我就能检测50多种，这是到目前为止在医院能开展的全国最多的一家医院。
But an even bigger improvement is on the way. Ma says in no more than 3 years, Shanghai doctors should be able to diagnose more than 1,000 rare diseases, thanks to a big government grant last year. He says that will help a lot more people know what's wrong with them, even if it's a rare disease, and help determine whether it's possible to treat. Xu Fangliang, Shanghai Live.